So this park run is Hyde in Greater Manchester, not to be confused with Hyde Park in London. And as you can see, I got my official Parkrun Tourist t-shirt here. So this is the start line. And I actually made quite a good start on this. The thing is about this parkrun, you actually finish uphill. So your sprint finish is not very good. It's reasonably hilly. I'm going to put the elevation up here. It's a standard 3-lap course where about 3/4 of a lap is slightly downhill, then slightly uphill, and then is the into the woods bit, which can get quite slippy, and I'll show you that bit in a minute. But here's the map. And that bottom bit there is the bit where you're into the woods, and you go over a little bridge, and then back up. There is a cafe here. I think we run past it here. Or is this the Banana Moon nursery? Yeah, that's the nursery, Banana Moon. I always called it Blue Banana, but that's the clothes shop for goths, isn't it? Just because it's got a blue sign. And this is actually my hometown parkrun. And it's the day after local hero Ricky Hatton's funeral, which took place the day before this parkrun. So it was a bit of a tribute to him. And thanks to all the volunteers, as usual. And 171 people took part in this parkrun. That's the cafe there. You can see there's some people stood outside, some volunteers cheering on. And congratulations to Ryan Wheeler, who won this one with a time of 18:43. I finished 18 on this one, got about 22:40 something. I did this about a year ago. I got 22:10, but my fitness is not what it was. And this is my last parkrun for a while because even though it's been delayed, I meant to have a knee surgery a couple of weeks ago. It is going to be this week, so I'll be having a couple of weeks off and maybe walking a few. And I do tail off in the middle there. This is the bit. This is a very steep hill. It's very short, but it's one of those hills that's so steep that you have to slow down. Otherwise you'll end up like that, where they throw cheese down that hill and everyone goes running after it and falls over. But it's the into the woods bit. Yeah, there are dogs here as well, and there were people on prams. You can see just getting slippery at this time of year, but it's quite dry. You can run along this path, and there's a very thin bridge here. I don't know if anyone's ever fallen off into it. Just right at the end. And you can see people running back. Got ahead here on the other side. There it is. Coming up now the bridge. It's very thin. You do have to slow down a little bit here. Then back up the woods. Once you get out of the woods, it's all uphill. And some facts about Hyde, the town, is that they hold the record for the biggest ever FA Cup defeat in 1888, being beat 26-0 by Preston North End. The town of Hyde in the late 18th century was just a cluster of houses that was known as Red Pump Street. G Cross to the south was the largest settlement, with Hyde being the primary estate of Hyde Hall on the banks of the River Tame. In the 1801 census, the township of Hyde, which was then part of the parish of Stockport, had a population of just over 1,000. And as a result of the cotton trade in the 19th century, resulted in the modern town of Hyde and the creation of several more settlements in the area. The Peak Forest Canal was constructed through Hyde, was finished in 1800 and runs from Ashton-under-Lyne to Woodley, Romiley and Marple. And as the Captain Clark's Bridge, originally named Wood End Canal Bridge, is at the Wood End Lane. At its peak, there were 40 working mills in Hyde. By 1872, only 27 remained. Half of them closed between 1921 and 1939, and there was only one working mill in the town today. Many of the mill-owning families included the Sidebottom, Hibbert and Horsefield family, but the main employees in the mills were the Ashton family, who ran spinning and weaving company. The Ashton family also built Hyde Chapel on Stockport Road in G Cross. So now we're running uphill. The uphill, it seems to catch you off guard, this, because it's quite a long bit. And I've got to nearly 5 minutes into this video without mentioning Hyde's most notorious figure, Dr. Harold Shipman, who had a surgery in this town. Another fact about the town of Hyde: in January 1889, an explosion in a coal mine killed 23 miners. And time to dust out some old pictures of Hyde. There's the old bus shelter on Market Street. So we're running past the cafe. Oh no, it's the Banana Moon. So we're on the second lap here. This looks like the mall. This is the old bandstand in the centre of the park where you start. They all used to be glassed, that. But I think they did make it into a memorial for the victims of Harold Shipman. So here's the cafe again. On the right, so we're on the second lap. So we're going downhill a little bit here, so we can get some speed up. And this is a picture of the Hyde Town Hall from maybe around 1960. So going into the woods here, is down that hill. Again, there's the tail walkers. Just going to speed up a little bit here. You can see I'm getting overtaken now. It's hard when you're finishing uphill to overtake. So there's a few people overtaking me now here. We'll go back to that bridge. There we go. Oh, there's the woman. I overtake her, actually, that woman there. So I'd imagine she's the First Lady, highest positioned woman with the Man United t-shirt on. But she's in front of me for quite a while, but I do catch up. I think she finished 2 places behind me, which is not bad. Oh, and I can't even believe it. If anyone's ever actually listened to all of my commentary, you'll know that I like going for a breakfast muffin at Wetherspoons after a park run. And Hyde is a town with no Wetherspoons. There did used to be a Wetherspoons in there. It's now a pub called the Cotton Bale. And I've no idea why the Wetherspoons decided to abandon the town. But it's about, I'd say just under a mile out from Hyde Town Centre, the park. So, but there are plenty of places nearby. There is a local cafe. But in terms of public transport, the train to Flowery Field is from Manchester Piccadilly platform 2 is the easiest one to get to. But there you can just have a couple of minutes jog for your warm-up. And it only takes about 13 minutes to train from Piccadilly. It's usually 8:30. It gets to Flowery Field at about 8:45. So it's quite easy to get to. But yeah, we're coming up to the finish now, the uphill finish. But I think that there's quite a few buses from Manchester, but they all take quite a long time. And Hyde Road, especially past Denton, can get really hectic for traffic. Always that woman again. But I've said before, like a lot of park runs, what are 3 laps. When you're on your final lap and you've got some of the slower runners, because you have to overtake them, it gives you a little bit extra, it gives you that little burst you need to give a good finish. As you can see here, my last section was not really that quick, but even though it was all uphill. But my watch recorded this one as 4.75. My watch always seems to record it in terms of length slightly less than usual, where if I put Strava on my phone, it's always slightly longer. But sometimes you look on Strava at other people that have done it, and they also get slightly different lengths. Well, it's annoying when Strava gives you a 5k personal best, but you don't get a park run personal best because you've done 5.2k. Peel Park in Salford is I think that's longer than 5k, which has robbed me of a few park runs. I've just overtaken her now, which robbed me of a couple of park run personal bests. We're coming up to we're all uphill now out of the woods. I think Bolton finishes uphill. So this is the bit you just switch off to the right if you're on your second lap, or straight here to the left and finish. Collect your token and get scanned. So now off to some cafe somewhere.